But I remember saying like, well, I don't want to say all Jamaicans are perfect, or that we're not, that we don't have our own, strengths and weaknesses. But I said, yeah, it didn't surprise me when a guy I knew who was Jamaican had bought three houses by the age of 30. And to be quite frank with you, I said I don't know a lot of African American men who bought three houses by the age of 30. And I said, but I think there's something there, right? There's something in Jamaican culture that we can learn from. And so I think for us, it also for, I know a lot of you might be Jamaican as well, so we love you, of course. But when you look at African American culture and so much poison that was kind of put in the well, so many traumatic, horrible experiences that we had to go through that really misdirected us. I think it's important that we really consciously take hold of that culture, and by learning, applying, and teaching, you're not only getting into the exposure to new ideas, the application allows you to incorporate that into your daily life. That's what your whole life is, nothing more than a product of what you do consistently. That's all it is. It's just you, it's habit formation. What are your habits? What are you doing every day? That'll tell me everything I need to know about where you're going to be 20 years from now. If you're investing three times a week, then you're going to be wealthy in 10 or 15 years. Easy to predict that. And then the last part, teaching, right? So that means that this model of solo success that we've been so proud of for so long, where somehow we thought that if I went out and got a great job, that other people would somehow be inspired by what they saw. Like they'd see me driving my Mercedes, and they would say, "Oh, I want to be like him," and that's fine to some extent, but that's not the same as me saying, "Let me explain to you how I got this. Let me create a job for you so we can work together and build together." Those are two different sorts of approaches, right? So that teaching part, I think, is essential. We have to make sure whatever your gospel is, whatever your jam is, you play that music as loud as you can. And that's what I like about what you're doing, is you're taking your beliefs, and no one can be around you for too long without knowing what you stand for, being inspired by what you're doing, and watching you take action. Learn, apply, teach. You're doing that. So let me ask you this question then. The sisterhood. Let's talk about that. You mentioned waiting to exhale, and we've heard that term. Everybody, I assume, how many of y'all old enough to remember the movie Waiting to Exhale? Sometimes you laugh, sometimes you cry. Right? Life never tells us. Yeah, okay, let me stop. All
I
right.
got the
So anyway,
soundtrack. You can sing it, Dr. Boyce. Every time I'm off of Zoom and I'm in the chat, I'm always like, sing it. I love when you start singing and rapping. Yeah, I'm all about it.
well, well, you know what? That I'll tell you, that was a great movie, and I can't sing, so I'm not gonna mess up Whitney Houston's song. But y'all remember "Shoo Shoo Be Doo"? All
Yes.
right, so here's what that movie said to me, right? And you brought it up, and I thought it'd be fun to explore this a little bit. I was 24, 25 when that movie came out, and I was just becoming aware of the complexities of being a black adult, right? Like the whole issue that a lot of the issues that black women go through. And I watched the movie and I said, wow, like all these women are going through these horrible experiences with men, and there was only one exception: Gregory Hines and the lady, you know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
She's a famous actress, right? But everything else was like, holy crap, like what's happening here? And so what I thought about when with that movie was, isn't it interesting that you said we're waiting to exhale now? Loretta Devine, thank you, Robert.